Okay. Once again, good morning to everybody. In the previous sessions, we looked into what is a ERP, what is a enterprise resource planning, and how it benefits, what are the advantages, and how it helps the business in integrating all the functional areas of the particular organization. In today's class, we will see the different functional areas of the ERP. Okay, for today's session, I'm going to use the presentation prepared by Tom Matys, which talks about the different functional areas of ERP. Okay, as we understand, enterprise resource planning is a core software used by the companies to coordinate information in every area of the business. So every area of the business means different functional areas, or you can think it as a different departments of the organization, help manage company-wide business processes. So whatever the business processes that are established in that particular company, it will help it to manage. So what is a business processes? Suppose if you want to buy something from a particular company, so they will have a process. So buying is the process, okay, and that business process might involve some other activities as part of that business process. When you are buying something, internally there is a check on whether that particular product is available. If it is not available, then it goes to the procurement department to procure it, and once the procurement department sends the order, the vendors or the suppliers, they will supply it. It will be available in the warehouse. Once it is available in the warehouse, that can be shipped to the one who is requesting for that particular product. So in this complete process, there can be many business processes. Procurement is a one business process. Okay, the way company procures, it will have its own way of doing it. That is called as a business process. So organization will consist of many business processes, and combined together, combined together combined together, that particular functional area will work. Okay, another example for the business process, just to understand what is a process, is a admission process for college. We don't call it as a business process, it is a process, admission process. So there are certain things that needs to be fulfilled. Okay, then your admission will be done. So the minute you apply for the apply for the admission, and until you get admitted, so that is complete. Whatever the activities that carry out, that is a process. Similarly, in business, there will be many such processes, and we know ERP uses a common database and a shared management reporting tools. So there is a common database and the shared reporting tools. Business process. What is a business process? Collection of activities that takes some input and creates the output that is the value to the customer. So in case of a business process, every business process will take it as a certain input, and it produces the output which is beneficial to the customer. For example, admission process, you your application is the input, and output of that process is like you are admitted to the college with the respective department. That is the output. So there are different functional areas. To understand ERP, we must understand how a business works. So in order to understand the ERP, how that particular business functions, that we should understand, and different functional areas of operation. What are the different functional areas that company has, and the what kind of a business processes it employs. These are the four functional areas. There could be like many. So in general, these are the ones that are used in any kind of a manufacturing organization. These are the things that are included in your syllabus. First one is the marketing and sales. Whatever the activity related to the marketing and the sales of a product is taken care by the marketing and sales. Then we have the supply chain management. Supply chain management, uh, uh, it starts from procuring the raw material until a finished product. So that is the complete supply chain management, and also the logistics, transportation and the logistics. Accounting and finance, this department is responsible for keeping all the transactions, all the payments information, all the bills information, all the receipts. So whatever is related to the all the transaction, cash flows, all those are maintained by the accounting department. And as part of their functional area, there are different reports they produce. One of the most important report that generate is the balance sheet. Then human resource, HR department, we know that they take care of the whatever the requirement of the human resources for the organization, recruiting, training, okay, and taking care of their payroll, benefits. All those are taken by the human resource functional area. Business functions, activities specific to a functional area of a operation. So what is a business function? The activities which are specific to the functional areas called as the business functions. In this example, okay, okay, I hope it is visible. Here you can see these are the business functions. Business functions are specific to the functional areas. On the top you have the functional areas. In these functional areas there are many business functions that are carried out. For example, marketing and sales, marketing of a product. So the responsibility of the marketing and sales department or the functional area is a marketing of a product. That is a business function. So marketing of a product involves making others aware about the product, what are its capabilities, and how the marketing is done. It depends on their strategy. Okay, so basically it is creating the awareness about that particular product in the society, so that people will know about that product. That is the marketing. Second one is the taking sales order. Once marketing is done, as a result of the marketing, people will be aware of such product, and then you will start getting the orders, sales orders. So taking the sales order is the another business function. Then customer support. Customer support is whatever is required by the customer in order to purchase a product, and after purchasing the product, if there are any issues, any queries, all those come under the customer support. So marketing and sales the functional area is responsible for the customer support. Then customer relationship management, CRM. I told you about many companies, they use a CRM as a separate module if they don't want to buy the complete ERP, and then they will go for the CRM products. There are many CRM products which will help with the maintaining the customer relationship. Why customer relationship is important? Once you identify a potential customer, if you fulfill his needs, that particular customer will be repeatedly coming to the company for the sales. It depends on what kind of a product it is, but maintaining the customer relationship is very vital in order to come up to sell the existing product, or even in the future if there are any kind of a new products. Customer, once they have a faith in particular organization, they will be looking forward to any kind of a product that is coming out of that particular organization. So that is called as a brand value or the branding. Then sales forecasting. So sales forecasting is the most important thing. The marketing and sales functional area, it should able to forecast the sales. Okay, So what would be the sales for the next month? What would be the sales for the next 3 months? What would be the sales for the next 6 months or 1 year? So that forecasting is required. So to do the sales forecasting, there are certain techniques. It uses the current sales data. Then there are many parameters that is dependent on the sales of a certain product. So they will consider all those things and they will do the forecasting. And advertising. Okay, forecasting, why forecasting is important? This is the most important information for the supply chain management, because supply chain management, they procure the raw material and they keep the production level as per the forecast. We don't want to have too much inventory or too less inventory. Too much inventory is also a kind of a loss. You don't want to have a product lying in the inventory, that is a additional cost. At the same time, you don't want to have too low where you cannot fulfill the sales orders. So that is also not a losing sales is not a good. So we have to have a appropriate number of products in the inventory. That is done by based on the sales forecasting. Advertising, as you know, making aware about the product. There are different forms of advertising. You can put advertising in the social media, advertising in the press, advertising in the internet, advertising in TV or cinema halls. There are many ways of advertising. Then next functional area is the supply chain management. What are the business functions? Purchasing goods and raw materials. So they purchase the goods and raw materials, receiving goods and raw materials. So when they are doing the purchasing of goods and raw materials, you have to remember that there is no single vendor. There are multiple vendors, multiple quality of the raw material. They have to have some mechanism by which they select the vendors, whoever bids lowest and with the quality that is desired by the organization. So all those things will be involved here. Once they place the order, receiving the goods and raw materials, once order is placed, receiving, making sure that raw material is of appropriate quality, transportation and logistics, taking care of all the transportation and the logistic, scheduling production runs. So production runs is what, how the production of the products will happen. So based on the forecasting, they will plan accordingly how much production should be done, and accordingly they will put in the schedule. Manufacturing of the goods, right? Once you have the scheduling plan, according to that they will run that scheduling plan, and the production will start, manufacturing will happen. Manufacturing of the goods. And plant maintenance. Plant maintenance involves maintaining the all the machineries, making sure that they are in a good condition, which will not hamper the production. So that is a plant maintenance. There could be scheduled maintenance, unscheduled maintenance. Scheduled maintenance are the ones where the machine will have some kind of a maintenance schedule, like a once in a month certain things needs to be done. Or if there is a unscheduled are the one whenever there is a failure or a breakage. Those, if the supply chain management team make sure that they will not have any kind of a undesired failure of the machines, so that they will have the scheduled maintenance, which will make sure that there is those repair works are taken care during the scheduled maintenance. Accounting and finance, financial accounting of payments from customers and to suppliers. One of the important thing is the getting payments from the customers and making payments to the suppliers. Cost allocation and control. So allocating the cost, whatever the cost that is incurred in the organization, cost allocation, and making sure that control is the mechanism. It is as per the requirement. Okay, the cost doesn't deviate too much from the year on year. Planning and budgeting. So accounting and finance, they will do the planning and budgeting. Cash flow management, whatever the cash flow they are getting, they have to manage it. Human resource, Recruiting and hiring, that is the most important activity for the HR. Then training, payroll, making sure that the payroll system is present, and whatever the salary, the taxes, and the fees, all those are deducted as per the current government regulations. Benefits, these include, apart from the salary, you get also benefits from the organizations or the company. What are the benefits is, let us say, provident fund. Then you have the sick leave, then paid leaves, then you have health insurance. All those come under the benefits. So government, the organization may or may not offer any benefits. If there are any benefits, that would be managed by the human resources. Then government compliance, making sure that the all the activities, all the processes are in compliance with the government. Functional areas of operation. Functional areas are independent. Uh, Whatever the functional areas we talked about, the 4 functional areas, they are interdependent. Each requires data from others. So, in order for particular functional area to operate, they have to interact with the other functional area. Better integration of functional area leads to improvement in communication, workflow, and success of the company. So we have already seen that in the ERP, the advantages of the ERP is like, it improves the communication, workflow, and the success of the company. So for that, we need a information system. So information system, computers, people, procedures, and the softwares that store, organize, and deliver the information. That is nothing but the ERP softwares. Business processes. What are business processes? Collection of activities that takes one or more kinds of a input and creates an output that is of value to the customer. So all the business process, it is some kind of a collection of activities where it will take some kind of a input and it produces the output. Customer can be traditional external customer or internal customer. Thinking in terms of the business processes help managers to look their organization from the customer's perspective. So thinking in terms of the business process, actually we can have the customer's perspective. Having a certain business process will benefit the customer or not, or having a business process, such a business process which will attract more customers. So manager can think from the customer's perspective, and he can directly correlate it to the business process. Business processes, okay, input and the output. So here input, then we have the functional area responsible for the input, what kind of a process we are going to use, business process, and the what kind of a output that is processed. For example, first one is the request to purchase computer. Whose functional area it is? Marketing and sales. Marketing and sales are the one who will take the purchase request. And what is the process? Sales order, generating the sales order. Order is, what is the output? Order is generated. They follow this process. So this process will tell how the sales order should be generated. So according to that process, they follow this business process, and output is the sales order is generated. Next one is financial help for the purchase. For example, the customer needs a financial help. For example, when people buy the car, so most of the 90% of the time they will go for the financing. So financial help for the purchase means it can be in terms of the loans. Who is going to take care of accounting and finance? That is the functional area. Then what is the process? Arranging financing in-house, making sure that financing is available in-house. Most of the car showrooms, if you have seen, they will have people from like different banks sitting in their premises to help with the financing. And some companies, they have their own financing. For example, like Maruti Suzuki, they have their own financing. So whichever way, they need to help. And what is the output? Customer finances through the company. So he will get the finance done through the particular organization. Next, technical support. Technical support means the customer wants some help with the technical help with the whatever the product. Who's going to take care of marketing and sales? What is the process? 24-hour helpline available, so where customer can call and he will get the help. What is the output? Customer's technical query is resolved. Then fulfillment of order. So once we get the order, who gets the order? Marketing and sales. Who has to fulfill that particular order? That is the responsibility of the supply chain management. So once they go through the procuring raw material, and once they produce that particular computer, shipping and delivery, that is the process they will follow, and customer receives the receives the computer. So these are the some examples of the business processes. Business must always consider customers' viewpoint in any transaction. Okay, successful customer interaction. So, uh, always customer viewpoint will help us to enhance the business processes. So, which will make company to succeed, improve its sales. Customer is not required to interact with each business function involved in this process. So, whatever the business functions you have, customer need not get exposed to everything. So customer will have a single point of contact, maybe marketing and the sales is the area. Once they communicate there, then other business functionalities will interact with each other and produce the whatever the output that is desired by the customer. Successful business managers view business operations from the perspective of a satisfied customer. Business process: sharing data effectively and efficiently between and within functional areas leads to more efficient business processes. Okay. Integrated information system which is functional area share the data, that is the ERP. Okay, so this is the business processes. Sales function, then once we have the sales function, then accounting functions, then purchasing functions. Once sales people get the order, if payment is done, then the purchasing will happen, purchasing of the raw material, and production of that particular product, and the logistic is shipping and sending it to the desired location. Okay. Business process takes inputs, resources, and transform these inputs into goods and services for the customer. Examples of inputs are material, people, equipment. Managing inputs and business processes effectively require accurate and up-to-date information. So we know that whenever you want to manage the business, at every minute you should have the accurate and the current yeah, information, which is very crucial for the business. So that can be achieved having a integrated data using the ERP system. Marketing and sales. What are the functions of the marketing and sales? Developing products. So they come up with the new products, and making sure that those products are priced appropriately. Okay, considering all the costs and all the margins. Promoting the products to the customers. So promotions are done in many variety of ways. Different strategies are used for promotion. So one of the main function of the marketing and sales functional area is to promote its product, taking customer orders, helping create a sales forecast. So they will be taking the customer orders and they will be doing the sales forecast. So how much sales is going to be in the near future. So it could be based on the like weeks, or it could be based on the months, or it could be based on a yearly basis. Need to keep track of the customers. Their job is to make sure that all the customer information is available, and they keep on checking with the customers if there is any need for them for the any kind of a product. then product development. Good repeat customers allowed to charge purchases up to a point. So having a good repeat customers, that is going to benefit the organization. Record must show how much each customer owes and his or her available credit. So if particular organization is giving the credit to the customers, the record should show that how much credit is available with, how much they owe to the organization, and how much is credit is available in their particular accounts. That record should be maintained. Next one is the supply management, supply chain management. What are the functions? Making stuff, that is manufacturing or production, that is the one of the functions. Buying raw material, purchasing. In order to make the manufacturing, it has to buy the raw materials. It is their function. Production planning requires a sales forecast from the marketing and sales functional area. So production planning, for doing the production planning, how much to be produced. So they will be needing input from the marketing and sales functional area, which will provide the forecast. Sales forecast analyzes that that attempt to predict the future sales of a product. That's a sales forecast. Supply chain management, other functions. Production plans are used to develop requirements for the raw materials and packaging. And here is the one example of making a lemonade. So what are the raw materials that are required? Bottled spring water, fresh lemons, artificial sweetener, raw sugar, and what involves in the packaging, cups, straws, napkins, and what the SCM and marketing is, must choose recipe for each product sold. So supply chain management will actually manufacture that, and they have to choose the proper recipe to make it. Next, accounting and finance. Recording raw data about the transaction, including sales. So the most important thing about the accounting and finance, every transaction in the organization, okay, that should be kept, the record should be kept with the accounting and the finances. That is what they are calling it as a raw data, including the sales. Raw material purchases, payroll, receipt of cash from customers, all those things are, they have to keep a record of the every transaction that happens in the organization. What is the raw data? Numbers collected from those operations without any manipulation, calculation, or arrangement for presentation. So it is the actual data. Whatever transaction happens, that actual data, without considering any kind of a manipulation. Accounting and finance, other functionalities. Data from accounting and finance is used by the marketing and sales and supply chain management. Sales records are important components of the sales forecast. So how to make the sales forecast, even though there are other parameters, but the sales records, whatever the sales that is happening, those records are very, very important in order to make the forecast. And sales forecast is used in making staffing decisions and in production planning. So once you have the sales forecast, according to that sales forecast, staffing decision can be made. Like if they want to hire more people, okay, they can do based on the forecast. And also how the production planning should happen, it depends on the forecast. Records from accounts receivable used to monitor the overall credit granting policy of the lemonade stand. So here what it says is whatever amount that is receivable to the organization, that will decide what should be the overall credit granting policy. If that organization is giving the credit, how much can be given is based on the how much is owed to that particular organization. Human resource, their functions are recruit, train, evaluate, and compensate the employees. And HR uses the sales forecast developed by the individual departments to plan personnel needs. So based on the sales forecast, normally sales forecasts are done for the next 1 year. So based on that, it will do the recruitment. And according to the different functional area, according to different skill areas, it will do the recruitment. System integrated using ERP software provide the data sharing necessary between the functional areas. Functional area information system. In this, potential inputs and outputs for each functional area described next. So we'll see in the next slides, there is a input and the outputs for each of the functional areas. Note the kinds of data needed by each area and how people use that data. Information system maintain relationship between all functional areas and processes. So here, what kind of information is needed for marketing and sales? It needs information from all the functional areas. Customer communicate orders to marketing and sales in person or by telephone, email, fax. So there could be any way. So customer will be placing their order, whatever the form is available, to the marketing and sales department. And marketing and sales has a role in determining the product prices. So these are the people who will decide the prices of the product. Pricing might be determined based on the unit cost plus some percentage markup, whatever the margin plus whatever the actual unit cost that happened. Based on that, they will decide the pricing. Requires information from the accounting and finance and supply chain management. So these people will require data from the accounting and finance, also from the supply chain management. So this is the how information sharing happens. This is the marketing and sales. Customer places order, and once all the process is done, he will be able to track the order status. And marketing sales, they have to give the requirement to the HR for the personnel, and the HR will perform the hiring for these people. And similarly, whenever there is a sales order, they will generate the sales order, which will go to the accounting and finance. And what is the output from that department that is expected for the marketing and sales? Cost and profit analysis. Then for supply chain management, they provide the sales forecast and sales orders. Then these people will give the information about the product availability and the order status. Marketing and sales needs to interact with the human resource to exchange information on hiring needs, legal requirement, etc. So what are the inputs? Customer data, order data, sales trend data, per unit cost, travel expenses, company policy. So those are the inputs. And what is the output? They come up with the sales strategies, they come up with the product pricing, then whatever is the employment needs. So employment needs that will be shared with the HR department. Product pricing and sales strategies. This information will be important for the manufacturing team, that is SCM team. Supply chain management needs information from various functional areas. Production plans based on the information about the product sales that comes from the marketing and sales. So whatever the predictions or the forecast comes from the sales department, that will be used for the production planning. With accurate data about required production levels, raw material and packaging can be ordered as needed. Inventory levels can be kept low, saving money. Okay. As I told you, based on the sales predictions or the sales forecast, they will acquire the proper raw material and packaging material so that they can keep the inventory at the appropriate level. If you keep the inventory at the appropriate level, it will save in the it will turn out as a saving in the money. Supply chain management data and records can they provide data needed by the accounting and finance to determine how much of each resource was used. So they have to provide whatever the resource they are having, how much is utilized, they have to give it to the accounting and finance team. Support the marketing and sales function by providing information about what has been produced and shipped. So they have to tell what has been produced and what has been shipped. That information should be provided to the marketing and sales. Supply chain management interacts with some ways with the human resources. All these departments has to interact with the human resource department with their requirement for the job. So if they are requiring more resources, human resources, what kind of a skill, that interaction they have to do with the HR. So in every slide you are going to see that legal requirement of the job to the HR, and hiring needs and the personal information. So this interaction will happen with all the departments. HR will interact with all the other three functional areas for the requirement of the human resources, and the what kind of a job requirement is there, and they do the recruitment and the training. So supply chain management, he will he will order for the raw materials and the packaging, and he will get the delivery of those things. And he accounting and finance, he will provide the information about the what is the production plans, materials, and the inventory. In turn, they get the sales data and the manufacturing cost analysis from the accounting and finance, and from marketing and sales they get the sales forecast, and for them they provide the information about the product availability and the what is the order status. Supply chain management inputs product sales data, production plans, inventory level, layoff and recall company policies. Those are the input for the supply chain management. What is the output from that? Raw material orders, they place the raw material orders, packaging orders, resource expenditure data, production and inventory reports, and hiring information. Those are the outputs that are produced. Next, accounting and finance it needs information from all the functional areas. Record company's transactions in the book of account. All the transactions I talked about, it has to record all those transactions. Record accounts payable when raw materials are purchased, and cash outflows when the pay for the materials. So both should be recorded. Summarize transaction data to prepare reports about the company's financial position and profitability. So I told balance sheet is one kind of a report which will tell about the health of the organization. There are certain other reports they have to generate, so showing the financial position and the profitability of the business. People in other functional areas provide data to accounting and finance. Okay. Marketing and sales provide sales data. SCM provides production and inventory data. HIR provides payroll and benefit expense data. Marketing and sales personnel require data from accounting and finance to evaluate customer credit. So those are the information that are shared with the accounting and finance by other functional areas. So you can see from customer the payments information, and whatever the payments that is received, it will provide the invoices and the credit memos if it is a credit. Then for the supply chain management, sales data, manufacturing and cost analysis is given, and these people will provide with the production plans, materials, and the inventory requirement. And with the HR requirement, if they have any employment requirement or the job requirement, they will communicate with the HR people, and they get the sales order data from the marketing and sales, and they provide the cost or the profit analysis. Accounting and finance, what are the inputs? Payments from the customers, accounts receivable data, accounts payable data, sales data, production and inventory data, payroll and other expenses data, that those forms as the input to the accounting and finance. Output is the payment to suppliers, so it makes the payments. Financial reports, customer credit data, all those are the forms as the output of the accounting and finance department. Human resource information from other departments are tasks related to the employee, hiring, benefits, training, and government compliances are responsibility of the HR. So all these things, whatever is related to the with respect to each functional area, whatever is the hiring, benefits, training, compliances, government compliances, all that should be will be the responsibility of the HR. HR needs accurate forecast of personnel needs from all the functional units. So whatever the functional areas are there, according to the forecast, what is their forecast for the personnel needs, means how many people they will need, that information should be given to the HR. HR needs to know what skills are needed to perform a particular job and how much the company can afford to pay the employee. So this information, if supply chain management is requesting for the personnel, definitely they will be looking in the area of manufacturing, transportation, logistics, right? And if accounting and functional area, if they are looking for uh, employees, they will be looking in the areas of accounting, right? Who knows accounting very well. Similarly, marketing people will be looking for the marketing graduates. So those, what kind of a skill they are looking, and what is the what is the standard of payment, both should be known to the HR department. All functional areas need to send that information to HR. So this is the HR. Basically, all the needs, okay, personal needs in the future, and their skill set, and what is the amount of payment that can be given. Those information should be shared with the HR. So you can see the same kind of information is required from all the other functional areas. Human resources, observing governmental regulations in recruiting, training, compensating, promoting, and terminating employees. So there are certain government regulations that should be aware. HR should be aware of those regulations, and it should be in compliance whenever it is doing the recruitment or the training or promoting any kind of activities. It follow the government regulations. What are the inputs needed for HR? Personnel forecast. So personnel forecast is given by all the functional areas, and what kind of skills they are required. Those are the inputs. And what is the output? Regulation compliance. HR will make sure that all the regulations are in compliance. Employee training and certification. Skills database, they are, will create the skills database. Employee evaluation and compensation. Significant amount of data is maintained by and shared among the functional areas. So if you saw so far, like there are a lot of information that is shared among the different functional area. Timeliness and accuracy of the data critical to each area's success and company's ability to make a profit and generate future growth. So the timeliness and accuracy of the data is very, very important in order for each of these areas to work properly. So based on the data, forecast will happen, and based on the forecast, a lot of planning will happen, and according to that, production is done. And that is how, like, if all these department work in hand, if whatever is produced by the supply chain management is, if sales team is able to sell that and give the accurate prediction of the forecast back to the supply chain management, they will produce more if forecast says more. So according to that, if all these functional areas work together, it will increase the profitability of the organization. ERP software allows all functional areas to share a common database, that we already know, allow accurate real-time information to be available. So once we have a system like that, you can have a real-time information. So whatever is happening as of that particular time, you can access. For example, the minute the supply chain management ships the customer product, they will update the record with the shipping information. Immediately that information is available to the supply chain management, immediately to the marketing and sales functional area, as well as to the customer, as well as to the accounting and finance department people. So any time they want to generate any kind of a data, they can do so. And for managers and the management, it is very useful. They can generate the reports to check any kind of a data, whether it is doing well or not, making profit or not. They can generate those report in the real time. So summary, basic functional areas of marketing and sales, supply chain management, accounting and finance, and human resources. We looked into marketing and sales. What they do: sets product prices, promotes products through advertising and marketing, takes customer orders, supports the customers, and create sales forecasts. So that is the job of the marketing and sales functional area. Supply chain management develops production plans, orders raw materials from the suppliers, receives raw material, manufactures the products, maintains facilities, and ships the products to the customers. That is the job of the supply chain management. Accounting and finance, financial accounting to provide summaries of operational data in managing in managerial reports, controlling accounts, planning and budgeting, and cash flow management. So accounting will take care of all the finance related things, all the transactions that happens in the organization. They will take care of those things, and accordingly they will be able to produce the required reports, which will help the management. Human resource, whatever is related to the recruitment training, those are taken by the human resource. Recruits, hires, trains, and compensates employees, ensures compliance with the government regulation, and oversees the evaluation of the employees. Information systems capture, process, and store data to provide information needed for decision making. Employees working in one functional area need data from employees in other functional areas. Functional area information system should be integrated so shared data are accurate and timely. Manager think in terms of business processes that integrate the functional areas. Need to share the information between functions and functional areas. ERP software provides this capability by means of single common database.